Hey everyone, it's official, the Social Security Administration just released their May 2025 payment schedule. And yes, some beneficiaries will be receiving up to $5,500 in benefits this month. This isn't just another minor update, this represents one of the largest monthly payments we've seen for certain qualifying recipients. If you're wondering whether you're among those getting this significant boost, you absolutely need to stay with me through this entire video. These changes could directly impact your finances this month, and I want to make sure you have all the information you need to check your eligibility and plan accordingly. In today's video, I'll walk you through who qualifies for these increased payments, the exact dates you need to know, and the simple steps to verify if you're eligible for this boost. So what exactly has changed? The Social Security Administration announced last week a revised payment schedule that incorporates several recent policy adjustments and cost of living increases. The most significant change affects recipients who qualify for multiple benefit categories simultaneously, specifically those eligible for both retirement benefits and supplemental security income, or SSI. For context, the standard maximum federal SSI payment for an individual in 2025 is $1,025 per month, while the average monthly Social Security retirement benefit has increased to approximately $2,050. However, certain recipients who qualify for both programs and meet additional criteria could see combined payments approaching or exceeding $5,500 this month. Now, let's break down the key dates you need to know for May 2025. May 1 SD, SSI payments for most recipients. May 3 RD, Social Security benefits for those who started receiving benefits before May 1997. May 10 TH, Social Security benefits for those with birthdays between the 1 SD and 10 TH of the month. May 17 TH. Social Security benefits for those with birthdays between the 11th and 20th, May 24th. Social Security benefits for those with birthdays between the 21 SD and 31 SD. What's unusual this month is that some recipients will receive retroactive payments due to recent recalculations and adjustments from the first quarter of 2025. This is where some of that $5,500 figure comes from. It's not just your regular monthly payment, but could include back payments you're entitled to. Now let's talk about who exactly qualifies for these larger payments. There are several specific categories of beneficiaries who might see that $5,500 figure. First, individuals who receive both SSI and Social Security retirement benefits who also qualify for the maximum benefit amounts in both programs. This is relatively rare but does happen for people with extensive work histories who also meet the financial eligibility requirements for SSI. Second, beneficiaries who are receiving back payments. If your benefits were recently approved after a lengthy application or appeal process, you might receive several months of payments at once. The SSA processes these retroactive payments separately from regular monthly benefits, and they could arrive this month. Third, those affected by recent benefit recalculations. The SSA completed a major review of certain benefit calculations in April 2025, and some recipients were found to have been underpaid previously. If you're in this category, you might receive the difference as a lump sum in May. It's important to note that regular monthly benefits haven't suddenly jumped to $5,500 for everyone. The average retirement benefit is still around $2,050, and the maximum possible benefit for someone retiring at full retirement age in 2025 is approximately $3,800 per month. According to data from the SSA, approximately 3.2 million beneficiaries might be affected by these recalculations and retroactive payments this month. That's a significant number, but it's still only about 5% of all Social Security recipients nationwide. To understand why these changes are happening now, we need to look at several recent policy developments. First, Congress passed the Social Security Enhancement Act in late 2024, which included provisions to address certain calculation errors and ensure more accurate benefit amounts. This legislation mandated a comprehensive review of benefit calculations for certain categories of recipients, particularly those with complex work histories or who had periods of disability. Second, the annual cost of living adjustment, COLA, for 2025 was finalized at 3.1%, which is higher than many economists initially projected. This adjustment, which took effect in January, increases all Social Security benefits to help recipients keep pace with inflation. Third, there was a technical adjustment to the way the SSA calculates benefits for people who receive both retirement and spousal benefits. This change corrects what many advocacy groups had identified as an unintended reduction in benefits for certain married couples. SSA Commissioner Martin Reynolds stated last month, "Our commitment is to ensure every beneficiary receives exactly what they're entitled to under the law." These adjustments reflect our ongoing effort to improve accuracy and fairness in our benefit calculations. The combined effect of these changes is that some beneficiaries are seeing substantial increases in their monthly payments, and others are receiving significant one-time payments to make up for previous underpayments. Now, let's get to what you're probably most interested in: how to determine if you'll be receiving one of these increased payments. The simplest way to check is through your My Social Security account online. If you haven't set one up yet, it's free and only takes a few minutes. Once you're logged in, look for the Message Center section, which is where the SSA posts notices about changes to your benefits. If you're eligible for a recalculation or retroactive payment, you should see a notice explaining the amount and when to expect it. These notices were sent out starting in late April and will continue through early May. For those who prefer not to use the online system, you can call the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213. However, be prepared for potentially long wait times, as call volume is significantly higher than normal due to these recent changes. Another option is to check your bank account if you receive direct deposits. The SSA includes an identification code with each deposit that can help you determine what type of payment it is. Regular monthly benefits will have your standard identifier, while retroactive or adjustment payments will have a different code. If you receive your benefits by mail, keep a close eye on your mailbox around your scheduled payment date. Any special or increased payments will come with an explanation letter detailing why your payment amount has changed. For those who receive both SSI and Social Security benefits, it's particularly important to check both payment streams, as adjustments might affect one or both of your benefits. Now, let's talk about what these changes really mean beyond the immediate boost to some people's bank accounts. First, this represents a significant acknowledgement by the SSA that some beneficiaries have been receiving less than they were entitled to under existing laws. These adjustments aren't new benefits or an expansion of the program, they're corrections to ensure people receive what they should have been getting all along. Some conservative policy analysts have expressed concern about the fiscal impact of these adjustments. The Heritage Foundation released a statement noting that unexpected increases in Social Security outlays could exacerbate the program's long-term funding challenges. They estimate these adjustments could increase program costs by approximately $14 billion this year. On the other hand, advocacy groups like the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare have applauded the changes. Their president, Maya Richardson, said, "After years of advocating for these corrections, we're pleased to see beneficiaries finally receiving the full amounts they've earned through their years of work and contributions." From my perspective, these changes highlight both the complexity of the Social Security system and its importance to millions of Americans. The fact that calculation errors could result in significant underpayments shows why it's crucial for recipients to understand their benefits and periodically review their payment amounts. For the economy as a whole, these increased payments will likely provide a modest but meaningful stimulus effect. When Social Security recipients receive additional income, they typically spend most of it quickly on necessities like housing, food, and healthcare. The Bureau of Economic Analysis estimates that about 70% of Social Security income is spent within the same month it's received. For individual recipients, especially those on fixed incomes, these adjustments could make a substantial difference in their financial security and quality of life. An extra few $1,000s might mean catching up on delayed medical care, making home repairs, or simply having a bit more breathing room in a monthly budget stretched thin by inflation. It's also worth noting that these adjustments come at a time when many older Americans are still recovering from the financial impacts of the post-pandemic inflation period. While inflation has moderated significantly since its peak, prices for many essentials remain high relative to pre-2023 levels. To put these changes in broader context, it's helpful to understand the current state of Social Security in 2025. The program currently serves approximately 70 million Americans, including retirees, disabled workers, and survivors of deceased workers. Total annual expenditures have reached nearly $1.40 trillion, representing about 5.2% of the nation's GDP. The trust funds that support Social Security are still projected to face depletion in the early 2030s if no further legislative changes are made. At that point, incoming payroll taxes would cover about 78% of scheduled benefits. Congress continues to debate various proposals to address these long-term funding challenges, though no comprehensive legislation has been passed yet. The most frequently discussed options include gradually raising the retirement age, increasing the payroll tax rate or cap, and modifying the benefit formula for future retirees. In terms of administration, the SSA has made significant investments in modernizing its technology systems over the past year. These upgrades aim to improve the accuracy of benefit calculations and reduce the backlog of pending cases, which had grown substantially during and after the pandemic. The agency has also expanded its field office hours and virtual service options to better accommodate beneficiaries who need assistance understanding their benefits or navigating the application process. If you're a Social Security recipient, here are the key actions you should consider taking in light of these recent changes. Check your My Social Security account or contact the SSA to confirm whether you're eligible for any increased or retroactive payments. If you believe you might qualify for an adjustment but haven't received any notification, gather your relevant records and reach out to the SSA to inquire. Consider consulting with a financial advisor about how to best utilize any substantial lump sum payment you might receive. Some recipients might benefit from paying down high-interest debt, while others might want to put the funds into an emergency savings account. Be aware that large one-time payments could potentially affect other benefits you receive that are means-tested, such as Medicaid or SNAP, food stamps. If you receive these benefits, check with the appropriate agencies to understand any potential impacts. Stay alert for scams related to these benefit changes. The SSA will never call and request your personal information or demand payment to process your benefit increase. All official communications about your benefits will come through your My Social Security account, official mail, or in response to a contact you initiated. Mark your calendar with the payment dates I mentioned earlier, especially if you rely on these benefits for timely bill payments. Consider setting up direct deposit if you haven't already, as it's the fastest and most secure way to receive your benefits. So there you have it, the May 2025 Social Security payment schedule has been released, and some beneficiaries will indeed see payments of up to $5,500 this month due to a combination of regular benefits, retroactive payments, and recalculations. While not everyone will receive amounts this large, these changes affect millions of recipients and represent an important effort to ensure accurate benefit payments. Remember, the best way to check if you're eligible for these increased payments is through your My Social Security account or by contacting the SSA directly. Don't rely on general information or assumptions. Your benefits are based on your specific work history and situation. This is just what we know right now, and I'll be following these developments closely. If the SSA announces any further adjustments or clarifications, I'll be sure to update you in future videos. As always, I encourage you to take an active role in understanding and managing your benefits. Social Security is a complex system, but it's one that you've contributed to throughout your working life, and you deserve to receive every dollar you're entitled to. Thanks for watching, and I hope this information helps you navigate these recent changes. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more updates on government benefits and financial news that affects your bottom line. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.